Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to have a little conversation about this idea that we should link Ukraine aid and border security and pack it into one bill. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to UnwokeThoughts. Tonight, we are talking about the fact that there are Republicans and moderates that are saying that, if you want this foreign aid bill to pass, this foreign aid bill that gives almost $100 billion to foreign countries, well, you need to link it with border security. And while it might make it a little bit more palatable for people like me, people who are 100% against sending more aid to Ukraine, it still does not mean it is actually that much better. We should, in my opinion, split up these bills, vote on foreign aid, this Ukraine aid, and we should also vote on border security. Why do we have in one bill something that has to do with foreign countries and something that has to do with the security of our own country, the United States of America? And I think it's very interesting that you can look at this war in Ukraine and you just have to come to the conclusion that there's no way that Ukraine can win the war. There's no way that they can define any sort of path to victory. But aside from the fact that spending $100 billion in foreign countries is just simply a bad idea when we have so many problems in our own country, what is the path to victory in Ukraine? Do they even have a shot? Is it even possible? Is a victory against Russia even possible? And the answer for me is a resounding no. It is impossible. And the United States and Ukraine specifically should sort out some sort of peace agreement with Russia, because this thing has gone on for way too long. Way too many lives have been lost. Way too much money has been spent on this pointless war. And Putin has said that he is ready for peace talks, or that he wants peace talks. And the United States really is not ready to have these peace talks. But that is not stopping the White House from continuing to push this preposterous notion that a vote against this foreign aid bill is a vote for Vladimir Putin, the big bad wolf, the bad guy. Look, Putin, he's a bad guy. If you don't vote for these $100 billion to go overseas, you are a bad person, and you should be, quite frankly, ashamed of yourself. Listen to this.
I want to ask a question about Ukraine. Are you saying that any member of Congress who votes against aid to Ukraine is voting for Putin?
I believe that any member of Congress who does not support funding for Ukraine is voting for an outcome that will make it easier for Putin to prevail. That is, a vote against supporting Ukraine is a vote to improve Putin's strategic position. That's just an inescapable reality. That's not speaking to someone's motive, why they chose to vote against it. That's just speaking to the outcome of their vote. A vote against supplemental funding for Ukraine will hurt Ukraine and help Russia. It will hurt democracy and help dictators. And we think that that is not the right lesson of history, and that every member, Democrat and Republican, should vote to support this.
So voting against this bill will hurt Ukraine and help Russia, and it'll help Russia prevail. Yeah, but what is the path to victory in Ukraine? There is none. So basically what they're asking for is a perpetual war, a war that lasts basically forever right now. Like, where is this war even going? What is our end goal? What is our end game? There's a lot of ambiguity as to why we're even sending this money to Ukraine in the first place. Is it because we want to help them win a war against Russia? Well, no, I think everyone can pretty much agree that Ukraine can't win a war against Russia. And the United States is not going to get directly involved in a war with Russia, because that would mean World War III. So why do we keep sending money to Ukraine? It's because this is a perpetual war, a forever war. And that is what they want. That is what the military contractors want, at the expense of the United States of America itself, these representatives that are supposed to take care of the United States. And they would rather focus on making sure that the money train is free and flowing overseas instead of taking care of our own home country. I feel like a broken record from saying it over and over. Repetition, though, sometimes is key. But our border, our crumbling infrastructure, our veterans, these things, they need some time and attention. And time and attention is only something that our senators give foreign countries. But guys, this ambiguity is exactly what they want. They can't define what exactly we're doing over there. The only thing you can do is prop up these emotional terms like, we got to fight for democracy. We got to make sure Ukraine doesn't just give in to Russia. We can't let the big bad Vladimir Putin, the big bad Russia, the dictators, we can't let them win. But they don't have any sort of path to victory. They don't have any end game. They won't define that for you. And the post-millennial is talking about this as well. And they say Democrat senators pitch $60 billion in funding as only way Ukraine can win the war, but can't define victory. White House and Warner were among 4 senators and other U.S. officials who traveled to Munich to sit down with Ukrainian officials. But this goes on to say 4 United States senators went to Munich Security Conference to hear Ukrainian soldiers and government officials ask for more aid to the country in the war against Russia. They came back pitching Biden's ask for $60 billion in war funding, but they couldn't define what a victory would look like. Oh, surprise, surprise. Ambiguity is like a weapon for these people. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse and Mark Warner were among the senators and other lawmakers who traveled to the German city to see what other demands for aid were being asked of the United States, according to Politico. Warner recounted that the passage of the aid in the White House that Speaker Mike Johnson has said is dead on arrival would be a game changer. Wow, if it's a game changer, let us know exactly, what the end game is. What is the path for victory? But it's a game changer for Ukraine. Quote, I am not aware of any other way in the short term, the Ukrainians to get the arms and ammunitions and tools they need other than from the United States, Warner added. However, Politico reports that many of the senators in the interviews with the outlet sidesteps questions when it came to how Ukraine could win. I wonder why. Maybe it's because they don't know how. Or maybe it's because they know that Ukraine, in fact, can't win, and they don't know how to explain that away. They don't know how to explain exactly why we have to give these billions of dollars to this country. White House said that it is heartbreaking to hear the soldiers recount what has been happening on the battlefield. I agree. This is why we should come to some sort of peace agreement with Russia, or Ukraine should. For every young Ukrainian soldier on the front lines, this is a persistent topic of conversation, he said of a story told about a soldier who would scroll through his phone waiting to see if the U.S. would send more aid to the country. Wow, that is so sad. Defense leaders in Munich reportedly feared for Ukraine and have concerns that the nation will lose to Russia in the war that has now gone on for 2 years. Politicians and other officials use the conferences as an opportunity to push the $60 billion aid package. Over $113 billion has already been spent. Defense leaders in Munich reportedly feared for Ukraine and have concerns that the nation will lose to Russia in the war that has now gone on for 2 years. Well, they can talk about Ukraine losing to Russia, but they can't talk about Ukraine winning to Russia? They can't talk about an endgame? That's very interesting. Politicians and other officials use the conferences as an opportunity to push the $60 billion aid packages after over $113 billion has already been spent. The outlet said that there was a feeling among the lawmakers who went that the plan was now to, quote, just keep the Ukrainian military from collapsing. And Vice President Kamala Harris, wow, this article says President Kamala Harris, whoa, that would be pretty rough, seemed staunch about sending more aid after the conference, saying that there is not any plan B to the aid. There's only plan A, she said, indicating the spending package must be pushed through the House. Yeah, good luck. I really hope Mike Johnson stays strong on this notion that he is not going to allow this on the House floor to vote. And if it does go on the House floor to vote, I hope we have enough America First representatives to where it does not go through, because this is a disastrous bill. I say it over and over. The conference reportedly had a feeling of unease that the United States would not be able to send any more aid because of conservative House members. Yes, America First House members to the rescue. These evil conservative House members preventing the package from going to the floor to vote, and it shouldn't. This is not something that we should even consider at this point, guys. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this idea that we should link Ukraine aid, foreign aid, to border security? And what do you guys think about this weird situation where our officials don't want to talk about the fact that Ukraine just has no path to victory? They have no chance in winning a war against Russia. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.